Looking to grow your spiritual strengths through easy to understand and accessible courses? Maybe you just want to watch all my skits and Q&A content before everyone else and all in one place. Or are you looking for consultation deals and chances to meet with me in a workshop setting? Check out my Patreon. Tiers start at only $5 a month and help me to make more engaging content for you.
I have spent 2 years consistently coming to this cemetery and talking to the resident spirits, and trust when I say that there are a lot. Did you feel it, or was it just me?
I was pretty tapped into Oliver at the time.
Okay. So
I saw your reaction though, and that's when I was like, whoa.
Okay.
It felt like something hit. Like, from out there.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
I know what it is. So I would love to hear what you feel, if anything, on what that is. I know what you mean. That's usually how it goes. Mm-hmm. But like tapping into the energy of it.
Okay.
I don't go to this side for a reason.
There's the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get on the old side.
Yeah. Walk on the old side.
Okay. So the disturbance. I'm not used to feeling something like that before, because it was like it was really just like a whap, and there was like a, like, you know, if you hit something, there's like waves that come off of it. Was that like, elemental is the wrong term, but something from out there, how it
Mm-hmm.
like something that roams the area. I think that's something that was created by, because I'm familiar, you told me about the mistreatment of the native peoples in this area. Mm-hmm. It feels like a kind of terrible energy that's come up, turned into like this giant wave of things, and it just sweeps the area, and it just went boom, and then, because this would be a protected area from the guardians and the energy here, and that's why, because I was like, whatever that was, it hit big. It did. Yeah. So it wasn't just like a person, because I felt like it came from that side, mm-hmm. and then kind of boom on the side of it, and then went out and around a little bit.
Rieglesville as a whole is energetically just sucking things in. Mm-hmm. And there are things around it that keep it that way. Some of it has to do with the history of the land itself. Some of it has to do with the things that have happened on the land. In essence of many unrealistically common natural disasters that have happened here. The issue with Rieglesville is that it's a siphon. It's like it sucks things in and it doesn't let things come out. That is why this cemetery, this place, these houses, this town is so haunted. There's nowhere else for the energy to go. It's like a black hole. Once you get in it, when you die here, that's it. You're here. There are hundreds of ghosts in this graveyard. I've seen them. I've seen just spirits wandering casually through the graveyard, like I don't even know that they're there. I have seen others beg me for help. I have seen some, like Oliver, who are very cognizant and are like, yeah, we're kind of here. And I'm aware of how they see things because they answered the question when I asked. What does it look like from where you are? It's always night. So, it doesn't shock me that two big energies coming in and walking around and exercising their energy would create that response.
Lead us. We're going to a place, what did you say you wanted me to read? A place that you're familiar with?
Read and validate me from work that I've done here. That I can only validate from my own experience. And I've never had a third party I could bring in with the ability to help confirm.
How exciting. I'm a third party.
And I've not really talked to you a lot. Like I've talked about this specific spirit on my channel. I've talked about my suspicions, but I need to know from somebody else how it feels.
Ooh, I feel special.
You are special.
Yay!
I brought you here. And look, you can see I was here. And the spiders. money I've left her. Even a quarter.
This,
just like old times.
This spot I do remember because we talked about it recently due to, was it a recent YouTube or something you were talking about putting out on YouTube? You got some great EVPs. Yeah.
I did a video about some of the best, my most favorite EVPs that I've ever gotten. This one is featured.
Since I do know the story here, rather than go into all of the reads, I want to read the energy of it, because that's something I can do, because I've only heard the story. I've not been here before, and I know different sides of the story, which, you know, can change the energy. It's interesting being on this side of what I understand with what has happened, because the energy feels a lot cleaner. Like, she feels cleaner. I almost feel her, like, here, like, touching the side a little bit. Though I don't really know why she stays. Also, these gnats. I did feel, it's interesting you did that, because I got this waft of, like, gratitude for what you were able to figure out. And yes, as we went by this other grave, it does feel empty AF.
He knows better.
Yeah, it just feels very clean. And I know that's because of what you did, because I could feel, like, it's almost like looking into the memory of it, I feel how it could be terse and restraint and prickly, but now it feels like the wind, honestly.
I'm having an emotional moment. This is the first grave that I have ever investigated in this cemetery, because it had the most stories attached to it. Supposedly, this was the lady in white who wandered the graveyard with long dark hair, wearing a nightgown of white, glowing in the night.
I got the dark hair. Yeah.
Would just pass your car, right? I sat here all the time and tried to communicate. And it took a long time of build-up. I used touch lights, not touch lights, gap lights at first. And one day, like, we would sit here and sometimes things would happen, but we didn't know for sure. And then one day I asked a question and it just turned herself on. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mary, turn on the light more. Like, I'm so excited. And she responded in an EVP. And over time, we talked a lot. And I kept feeling like she was trying to tell me something. I kept feeling like this was an opportunity for her to talk. And the more I sat here with her, the more I kept getting this, I feel like something specific happened and you haven't been able to tell anybody. And then there was a lot of upset from the one behind me. And I worked really hard, and I've tried to create an environment for her to be free to speak. I presented what I thought was going on, or what I thought had happened. I don't know, like, I think, like, she projected it at me. I'm not sure how that came, but I made a comment about it during a live stream, and we got an EVP of confirmation. And after a while, we worked with her. One of the last things she said was, "You were my friend. Thank you." And then I never connected with her again. It was like she was gone. And I thought maybe she had disconnected herself enough to give herself space. Maybe, like, I thought maybe she had moved on to a different place, but I also knew that, like, the cemetery wouldn't allow for that to happen per se, but I felt she had more freedom than she did before. And she used to call me friend. And then she would, when I said I'll be back later, she'd always say promise. And I used to bring her flowers and drinks, cookies, and my company. And she used to get very excited because on the live streams, people would be like, "We love Mary, we stand Mary, Mary forever." And she would react to that physically with the touch lights. This is also, I she liked yellow carnations. I put yellow carnations on her grave, and I have a video of me sitting, and it's going this way. You see the flower move.
How much of this have you posted on YouTube?
I've posted some EVPs and some backstory on my one YouTube video of the EVP video that I did. I've also talked about it on my channel on TikTok. But a full breakdown, I have not done an actual dedicated video on the full breakdown of where it started, what we found out, what the evidence was, where we're at now. That was something I've been working on because it's such a fascinating case study to me, how we built this trust together and became really close. And then she found her freedom she needed from her stupid husband, who has literally no ability to fight me anymore. He cannot. He's scared of me. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you, Rupert.
Yeah, that was a year ago, right? Yep. I had come up, you had shown me being up here, and we didn't actually walk it or anything. I was just here to visit, because that was for Gettysburg, which, live in Gettysburg, it's on my YouTube. But yeah, you had mentioned having problems with him, and Arnold has learned a lot in the last year. And it was at that time that Rupert was like, this was a conversation that we learned about the next day. We didn't know they were going to do that, but yeah, Arnold was like, there's this guy that we don't like and is mean to Catherine, and Rupert's like, you want to do something about it? And Arnold's like, what's there to do? Rupert was like, let's go do something about that guy, and they did.
I have him on audio say, I was like, do you don't want to talk to me? No, ma'am. I'll be over there. And then he zipped all the way over there.
Secret life of ghosts, everybody. They can do stuff. One thing I wanted to ask you back there was, for spaces like this, is there something to be done as far as like helping the spirits, as far as helping the land? Like, I always say acknowledgement is the best place to start, to acknowledge why things happen the way that they happen, to give folks a voice when you can, to allow them to speak for themselves, which I think is wonderful that we have more and more equipment that we can hear folks, and you can get a lot more of that from Catherine's channel. Though, as far as like these big places that just have a lot of spiritual activity due to the things that have happened even before these people were alive, like, is there something to be done?
No, not really, no.
That is a sad answer.
There's the most we've been able to do is acknowledge and listen. That's really all we can do in a place like this. There is too much to work. You would be here for years trying to coordinate and move, and you have to find them. They pocket up really well. It's such a large place, and it's the entire square footage of the town. It's not just here, it's the entire square footage of the town. And a lot of the ghosts around here travel, so you would be taking time to make sure you got everybody. Where are they going? What are they doing? It would be an extensive effort, especially since things in this place are so rooted. It would take so much energy just to get one route undone. The best thing you can do when you come to a place like the Rieglesville Cemetery, or any cemetery really when you're visiting, is acknowledge that you are coming in, giving respect to those that live here. People live here all the time. You're just visiting. Don't demand. If you can clarify things by not asking them, like you see a grave and you're like, tell me how you died. Don't do that. Just ask, do you have anything you want to say? And just let them talk. That's usually what we would do. We just let them talk. And we've full-on like marital arguments. Just, I want to clarify something. I don't come to places like this and do investigations in an effort to prove anything. I come to places like this and do investigations to give a voice to those who might feel lost, and give people the experience to hear it for themselves, so they are cognizant of what their effect is.
So it feels like one of those things where it's like, if you ever hope to change something, it's one at a time sometimes. And that's okay, because that's what it be sometimes. But it's acknowledgement, it's respect, it's understanding who had this land before people of our shade started to show up. and it's acknowledging the things that have happened over time. It's acknowledging the things that we can't do things about, but it's also acknowledging the things that we can do things about. And sometimes what we can do things about is one person at a time.
And knowing when to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
When your help is not needed.
Yep. Some folks don't want help. It's okay. I think that's a big thing in the mediumship world too. It's like this, oh, but how do I help them? How do I help everybody? Help yourself. Understand that you being alive and around is enough. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
And for more stuff on Rieglesville, check out officially_Catherine's page.
Me.
I hope all of you have been enjoying seeing Catherine on my regular channel, because I have found it is much better to go to spots when I am not alone. There seems to be a lot better stuff going on, if only just for my brain to be able to speak out loud.
I will be coming back and doing at least one last live stream here. At least. Just to check it.
Are you going to post it on YouTube?
I will absolutely post it on YouTube, where I'm currently working on my pen tour series.
Awesome.
Which is another great case study of thoughtfulness.
Love that. Cool. Well, signing out from Rieglesville, Pennsylvania. Where can people find you online?
People can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Officially Catherine is the name. Your friendly neighborhood paranormal investigator is the game.
So good.